Hi, it's Monday, my turn to tag you all once again. As per usual, I have 5 questions for you this week. Moving on to number 1. Biggest mistake you made? I've made plenty of mistakes, but my biggest mistake was trust. The trust I used to have in my friends that I do not have now. The trust that people who says that they don't care about who I am, what I am, then find out they lie. The biggest mistake I have ever made is trust people. Moving on. What do you take for granted? Well, I suppose you could turn around and say that I take carnival for granted, but really, matter of speaking, to get me on the cart each year, I've got to make sure I do enough work down the shed, which I do quite a lot to help out, but also do some fundraising. I don't take things for granted of being on the cart, but doing the fundraising as much as I possibly can. I'm hoping and I'm praying that for what I do is good enough to get me on the cart, which each month I do a funding for the club, which helps me out to get on the cart. I do other fundraising as well. I also chip in and help buy a few prizes to go into raffles or bingos and things like that. So, take for granted, I'm going to say carnival. Yeah, because carnival to me is everything. I love carnival, as you all know. Moving on. Ever had a bad reputation you did not deserve? I've had a few bad reputations that I did not deserve. There was one that I was accused of two-timing, which I've never two-timed anybody in my life, and it went like hellfire. It got spread that I was two-timing, and I could not prove that I was, and I could not prove that I was not. All I could do in my own defense is to say, where do I go to two-time a person? Where do I go on my own? I never went anywhere on my own. I either had my children with me or I had my wife with me, but I was accused of two-timing. A time wasn't mentioned, dates wasn't mentioned. All I got told was that I was apparently two-timing my wife at the precise moment. I don't know if she was making it up or somebody was spreading gossip. I can't prove it, she couldn't prove it, but it gave me sort of like a bad reputation, which I did not two-time anybody. No. Anyway, moving on. What do you think about public car parking charge? Disgraceful. Absolutely disgusting. Now, I took my daughter to hospital to have a checkup, but this checkup was to put a camera down inside her, and we was there for 2 hours. By the time we got there, by the time we got back to the car, the hospital car park for those 2 hours was £10. £10 for 2 hours was ridiculous. Other car parks is roughly about £3.60 an hour. But the hospital car parks charged us £10 for 2 hours of being in the hospital grounds. £10, ridiculous. Yeah. Moving on to number 5 and last. What just is not fair in your eyes? Lot of things I feel is unfair. But again, I am going with people. Always one-sided. Somebody tells someone about you and it burns rapidly. Or somebody threw a stone in a pond and you got the ripple effect, and before long it becomes a very, very big ripple. One-sided, dishonest, you name it, two-faced. They do not listen to you, seeing it's about you. One-sided. Takes one person to say something about you to somebody else. Instead of that person coming up and saying, oh, she or he has just told me about you, blah, 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 blah. So one person tells one, and then that person goes and tells another one, and another one, another one, and then it starts spreading out. Just is not fair that somebody can have the right to talk about others behind your back, being two-faced. I don't like it, and I damn well know the one who has started that little ripple effect would not like it if that person was getting talked about, laughed at, pointed at. He or she would not like it, and I just don't think it's fair for somebody to do it to you. Anyway, for the ones who I'm tagging for this week, if you don't already know, as follows: Bernie, DC, the Hat Man, Dave Nicholson, Axmoose, the legend, our king, our very own Dork, and Stevie. I have not tagged Leanne this time because I don't know if she is doing any more videos. She hasn't been on YouTube for such a long time. I don't know what is happening to her, so I have not tagged her in this video. Yeah. Thanks for listening. God bless. Take care.